All right, the 14th Provincial Conference of the ANC in Gauteng has been marred by delays. The PEC is behind closed doors discussing the issue of the quarantined Ekurhuleni votes. On Thursday, the NEC of the ANC instructed the provincial structure to resolve the matter. The quarantine votes are as a result of verification disputes of 5 branches in the region. However, the nomination and election process of the new leadership will only take place tomorrow. Those who have raised their hands for the top position of Provincial chairperson, PEC member Lebogang Maile, and current deputy chairperson Panyaza Lesufi have made it clear that they will bring about the much needed change in Gauteng. Strong support for Maile, chairperson of the controversial Ekurhuleni region. Mzandile Masina says they will not back down but forge for an outright win for Maile. Right, for more on this, we're joined by Samkele Maseko, who is live for us in Benoni, and of course he is with Natasha as well. A very good afternoon to you, Sam. Let's begin here. Right, we heard that it had been marred by delays. The conference had been marred by delays. Where are we now? I mean, I still see people outside, so clearly things haven't necessarily gotten underway. What is being said to you at this time?
Well, in essence, Flo, the conference has yet to get underway. There was a special PEC meeting that has just taken place here to deliberate on the 19 quarantined votes here in Ekurhuleni. It also comes at a time when Eskom is implementing stage 4 of load shedding. But we will just try on the load shedding issue before we speak to the Youth League, speak to the Minister of Finance, Ekurhuleni. Mr. Ekurhuleni, just to respond on stage 4 load shedding and the impact on the economy. Mr. Ekurhuleni, just the essence of stage 4 load shedding at this point in time, the impact it has on the economy, and your government's failure to sort out this issue of load shedding once and for all.
No, this is not the government's failure. There's a management employed by Eskom. It's their duty to ensure that this country has got electricity. So, yes, it is a massive impact on the economy. There's a study done by the CSIR which demonstrated that between 2019 and 2021, it cost this economy 338 billion rand. So it's massive.
What are you going to do once and for all to sort this issue, Mr. Ekurhuleni? Because business is hurting, you want to grow the economy, you can't do it because of this issue. Inflation has just gone up, and you've also been found napping on the issue of inflation. How are your discussions with the Reserve Bank?
Inflation, we have not been found napping in any event. Inflation is rising across the globe. The Americans are sitting at 8%, we're still at 6.5%. So we're not the only one who are facing inflationary pressures across the globe. So all countries across the world are facing that problem. So insofar as Eskom is concerned, there are a couple of challenges which are doing. Eskom has just won now a court case on the cost recovery mechanism. So part of the difficulty, they've got to find money to be able to resolve some of their challenges. And we're also going to deal with their debt challenges as well.
Thank you very much, Matiba. That is the Minister of Finance, Mr. Ekurhuleni. As I ask Mr. Amgele just to also grab the national chairperson of the ANC for us, Gwede Mantashe, who has arrived to open this conference. Sir, can you please just ask Gwede Mantashe to come through to us? Mr. Ntwako, who's the chairperson or the convener of the Youth League in the province. Your perspective going towards this conference as the Youth League, your former leaders, Lebogang Maile, is going head to head against Panyaza Lesufi in this conference. As the Youth League, where do you stand?
Thank you so much. All former youth activists are contesting in this particular conference. We are very happy that all youth leaders and student activists are taking charge and ensuring that they lead this glorious province. Ours and our position in this conference is that young people must be infused in the collective leadership of the ANC, and part of those young people will be the ones that are under 35, so that the question of generational mix and deliberately preparing leaders of the ANC for the future of this particular province, it's properly underlined.
The PEC meeting has just finished. You are part of it. What did you finalize on the issue of the 19 quarantine votes on Ekurhuleni?
The PSO will call a press briefing. They will brief the media properly. We have met and resolved on that particular matter. The relevant people will give the proper process as to what will happen in those quarantine 19 votes.
The PEC said the matter would be dealt by the newly elected PEC. Is there any substance to that?
The PSO will give the necessary information.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ntraku. I'm going to ask my colleagues here just to let go of the camera from the tripod. It may be a bit shaky as we approach the national chairperson of the ANC, Gwede Samson Mantashe, to speak on this specific conference and the NEC meeting that took place until the early hours of the morning. My colleague Natasha Piri is at a briefing led by the outgoing provincial secretary, Jacob Kawe, speaking on this matter of the 19 quarantined votes of Ekurhuleni. We'll have to excuse our shot there being shaky as we approach the national chairperson of the ANC. A high delegation of NEC members have been deployed to this conference. You've seen Enoch Kotongwane, NEC member and Minister of Finance. He's also here. We've seen Mamloko Kubai, who comes from this province, also an NEC member. As you can see on the visuals, there is Zizi Godwa as well, who was there at the Eastern Cape conference, alongside Mr. Mantashe, who is the former Secretary General of the ANC, now the national chairperson. In essence, I will link to my colleague Natasha Piri on that briefing that's currently taking place with Jacob Kawe as we continue with the national chairperson. Mr. Mantashe, just the essence of the NEC meeting, kicking the can downstream on the issue of Ekurhuleni, saying the PEC must resolve it?
Okay. No, I go can. There's no can in that issue. It took a correct decision. You could ideally, ultimately, that decision about the risk must be taken by the province. That's not kicking the can down anything. It's explaining constitutional provisions.